Hi everyone, welcome to today's football and exercise session. So what we're going to do today is I'll start you off with a nice easy exercise to warm up, and then we will be moving into a little square around the size of that. So it's got to be a much smaller square than we've used previously, as you can see. But we'll start off with one exercise before that, and I'll show you why you need the square afterwards. So you need your football, you need a drink, you need your 4 cones, and just a bit of space, whatever space you've got. If the weather's good, get out in the garden, get out in the backyard. If the weather's bad, which it very well could be in England, try and find room wherever you can do, in your bedroom, in your living room, or wherever your parents allow you to do this. So you don't need much space, you're not going to be smashing the balls everywhere, everything's about keeping close control and keeping it really close to you. So all we're going to do to start off with, you don't need to touch the ball, you're just going to place it out in front of you. And for 1 minute, you're going to see how many times you can put your knees on the ball. So it's 1 knee at a time. It's going to be right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee, right knee, left knee, and so on. So all you're going to do, you're going to get as fast as you can do, count how many you can get to in a minute, and then we will stop there. So pause the video, go and show me how many times you can do your knees on the ball. Okay, so what we're going to move on to next is going to be, obviously you need your footballs now, and it's all going to be close control in and around these squares. So it's going to be, we're going to start off with toe taps, but the toe taps are going to go and they're going to snake in and out of your square. So you might stand on your cone a few times with this. Your aim is to not do, but whilst you're in the toe taps, you might end up knocking your cones, but don't worry about that because I think I'm going to do that as well. So it's going to be, you're going to start with toe taps. I'm at the back corner of this square. I'm then going to go, whilst doing toe taps, around, so across, then back through the middle, across, and so on. So I'm constantly doing a snake in and out of my cones from side to side. So I'm going to go, I'll start my snake now, move forward, snake across the middle, move forward, snake across the front, move forward, snake across the middle, back to my starting point. Then we'll go again. And the aim is to not touch any of your cones. I haven't done it yet, luckily enough. So it's toe tapping. I'll show you the route you're going to take. So you're going to start at the back right. You're going to go across, forward, back, across, back, and I'm back at my starting point. So you're going to follow that same snake route every single time. Give it a go. Okay, so the next skill we're going to do, I'm going to show you a couple of variations of. So you can, you're going to start off on the easy stuff and work your way up to the harder stuff, go for it. If you're going to jump straight to the harder stuff, because the first stuff's too easy for you, then again, go for it. So we're going to start at this side of at the right hand side of the cones. We're going to roll it back, so it's going to be like a U-turn. So you're going to roll it back, push it across, push it forward. Roll it back, push it across, push it forward. Back, across, forward. Back, across, forward. Like so. Okay, this is where the change is going to come into it. So there's a few different variations we can do on this. So what I want you to do is, we're going to start with our right foot, but we're going to be going into the middle this time. So this is the variation that I'm going to show you today. So it's going to be back, across, forward, back, across, forward, back, across, forward, back, across, forward. And then when you get it faster, it's going to look like this. So it's back, across, forward, back, across, forward. Okay, so it is, I'll show you again. So it's right foot back, right foot across, left foot forward. Right back, right across, left forward. Left back, left across, right forward, left, right. And getting it nice and fast. Give that a go. Like I said, you're going to start on the easier stuff, which is just completely across in 3 touches. Go for it. If you want to do the little more advanced one where you're going inside the square, again, give that a try. Okay, so the next thing we're going to move on to is going to be, instead of doing the U-turns, we're going to do an L-turn. So it's going to be, I'm going to start on this side, so I always start on my right foot because it's easiest for me. If you want to start on the other side, then feel free. So it's going to be, you're going to start in front, probably about, obviously at the side of the cones, but probably about halfway towards the front of them. You're going to roll it back, L turn across, push forward. So your L turn is, I'll show you again nice and slowly. You roll the ball back and then you kick the ball with the same foot behind your standing foot. So my left foot's going to stay pretty much put, it's going to stay the same. I'm going to roll it back, roll it using the same foot across and roll forward. So it's going to be, then again I'm going to start on my left foot, roll back, push across, roll forward. Okay, I'll show you a little bit faster. Again, it's not perfect every time from me, but I'll try. It just shows that practice makes perfect and not everyone's perfect. So keep going, keep giving it a try and see how good you can get with it. So it's going to be roll, across, forward, roll, across, forward, roll, across, forward, roll, across, forward. And so on. As many of them as you can do. Give that a practice, have a go for a couple of minutes and see how well we can do it. Okay, so you're going to be moving back using your full square again now, and you're going to be using the sole of your foot for the entire thing. What I want you to picture this square as, I don't want you to picture it as a square, I want you to picture it as two separate things. So there's two cones here on your left hand side, and there's two cones here on your right hand side. So it's not a square anymore, it's just two cones there, and it's two cones there, that's all you want to picture it as. So you start in the middle. So when you're using your right foot, you're only going to be using the cones to your right. When you're using your left foot, you're only going to be using the cones to your left. So, and you remember, you're only using the sole of your foot. So you watch me, I'm using my right, which means I go to this side, and I'm going to do a figure of 8 around my two cones, because I only use them two cones at this point because I'm on my right foot. So I'm going to start off in the middle. I will then roll inside, in between the two cones, go around the front of it, back through the middle, and stop. I've done a figure of 8 using my right foot. Then I'm going to switch. I'm going to go left foot, which means I go left side, and it's going to go again in between the two, round in the figure of an 8. So it's going to be in between the two, round, round, back to the starting point. Right foot again. Done. Left foot. Done. Right foot. Done. Give them a go. Let's see how you go with that. And let's see how well you can do them figure of 8. So you want to keep the ball as close to them white cones as possible. You don't want it going miles off. You want to keep it nice and close to you if possible. Right, so on to our exercise part of today's session. So I've got rid of my football, I've got rid of my square. All I need is my body and myself to exercise. So we're going to start off on the floor. So we're going to do some mountain climbers to start. So I'll show you from 2 different angles how to do them. Remember, every part of the exercise we do, once I show you, pause the video and you do that exercise for 1 minute as fast as you can or as well as you possibly can do. So I'm going to get down on the floor. It's going to be hands on the floor, feet on the floor, and they're going to be mountain climbers. So I bring my right foot up to my chest, back down, left foot up, back down, right, left, and eventually I'm going nice and fast. So I'll show you on the side view because you might be able to see that a touch better on that. So it's going to be hands and feet both on the floor like so, and it's going to be right foot up, back, left foot up, back, and it's going to be nice and fast. So it's going to eventually get to see if you can do that for 1 minute, nice and fast. You've got to get your body going and going, working really fast, and it should be tiring, should this one. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing are called prisoner squats. So what I need you to do is simple start, put your hands on the back of your head, and then all it is from there is just a squat, okay? So you put your feet probably about shoulder width apart, and then all your squat is, you keep your back nice and straight, you go down, bend at the knees, and up. Like so. You've got 1 minute to do them. I don't want you going like that as fast as you can possibly go. It's nice and controlled, and it's just down, back up, down, back up, like so. So it's not a rush thing, it's not a sprint, you don't do a million of them, you've got to do the technique really well on this. Next exercise we are going to move on to. I'll show you how to do them. So this should be quite explosive when you do them, okay? So you've got to go. So I'm going to start with my right foot. So I plant my left foot and I twist my body slightly, and I'm going to use my knee and really drive my knee up. Then back in there, opposite way, drive my knee like that. And we're going. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go a million miles per hour, but when you do the movement, I want it to be a nice power and explosive. So it's going to be, I'm going to twist that way and it's twist that way. If you want to, you can use your hands. So I'm going to use that gap, and that's what you've got to kind of work your knee through. Then it's back again, and same again, same again. Show me them for 1 minute. Okay, so what we're going to do this time, we've done a lot of work on kind of the lower down parts of our body. What we're going to move it on to this time is working on our shoulders and using our kind of arms on our shoulders for an exercise. So what it's going to be is, I want you to start and you're going to go from the middle, out, up, down, okay? So it's going to be, I'll show you again, from the middle, out, up, down, middle, finish. Out, up, down, middle. Out, up, down, middle. Out, up, down, middle. Out, up, down, middle. As many times as you can. You've got to get through that full exercise as many times as you can do in 1 minute. Give it a go. Save the best till last for you, and we're going to finish off with a bit of a killer, something that should be tough, shouldn't be easy, and should have you tired by the end of it. We're going to move on to burpees. So a burpee is, you've got to, we'll start you down a little bit lower. So a burpee is going to be, you start from out, you jump in, you jump up, down, back out to your press up position. Then it's knees in, jump up, down, back out to your press up position. And we repeat that. I'll show you on the side just very quickly, and then you've got to do this for 1 minute for me. So it's going to start from out to in, jump up, down, out, in, jump up. Have a go at that for 1 minute. Okay, back onto our football skills again. So obviously you're going to need yourself a football. At the minute you don't need any cones, any squares or anything like that. We're going to practice Cruyff turn to start off with. So Cruyff turn is a player called Johan Cruyff. He was the one who kind of made it famous, hence why it's named after him. It's a really effective skill you can use in a match day situation. So if you play for teams, or if you're out playing on the schoolyard or wherever you want to go and play football, this is a skill you can take forward and use. So it's going to be, I'll show you on a side version actually. So I'm going to take a touch out of my feet as if I'm then going to pass a ball or shoot in that direction. I'm actually going to take the ball in the opposite direction behind me. So I'll take a touch out my feet like I'm going to pass it or shoot it. Then I will stop, plant my foot as if I'm going to shoot. Then I'll use this foot to turn back inside and go the opposite way. So I'll use the inside of my right foot now to turn and go back the opposite way. So I'll show you in a little bit faster motion. So it's touch out my feet, I'll do the turn, and then I'm off in the opposite direction. Touch, right turn, and off I go. Once you've got it on your right foot, you've got your Cruyff turn, so I'll show you out in front of you as well so you can see what I do from the front. So it's touch out as if I'm going to shoot, and then I turn back and go the opposite way. Right, now you've got that, I want you to show me doing it on both feet. So if you do it on your right foot, now try and practice it on your left foot, and I'll show you the pattern and the routine I want you to get into. So it's going to be touch out, Cruyff, touch out, Cruyff, touch, Cruyff, touch, Cruyff. So you can do it with your right foot, you can do it with your left foot, and it's quite simple once you get it. You might need to practice it still first, so you might need to just practice, stand next to it, pretend to shoot, turn the opposite direction. Have a go at that skill for me now. Okay, so we have done pull pushes in one of the other videos that we've done throughout the week. This one's going to be a slight bit tougher. So we're going to be doing the pull pushes. So I'll show you what they are. It's pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push. Now you're going to be taking it in 3 different directions. So I'm going to start out to my left-hand side. So I'm always going to be using the same foot to start off with. So it's going to be, I'm facing that way. So I will do, it's going to be a push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. Okay, so I'll show you a little bit faster. So it's going to be pull, push. So if you look, I'm going, I'm doing it. So I'm going to doing the pull, push in left to the centre and to the right. So it's going to be pull, push, pull, push, pull, push. Back to the middle, back to the left, to the middle, to the left, to the right, to the middle, left, middle, right. So I'm always going in 3 different directions. I'm not just doing it facing the camera and going in one direction anymore. Right, so another of the skills that we've done before has been the V-turn. So we're going to carry on with that, but we're going to add a little addition to it. So it's not just going to be a V-turn anymore. A V-turn I'll quickly show you. So I use my right foot on the opposite side of my body. So if you look, I've come across using my right. I'll drag it back and I'll push it across. So it takes the form of a V. Then left foot, I would drag it back and push it across. What I want you to do now is a V-turn and then roll it back across your body. So I'm going to go right foot to the V-turn, right foot to the roll across, and I'll stop it with my left. So it's going to be V-turn, roll, stop. V-turn, roll, stop. V-turn, roll, stop. Like so. So it's not just going to be a V-turn and I'm out of there. It's going to be a V-turn and you roll it back across to where you started from. So it'll be a right foot, V-turn, right foot, roll across, left foot, stop. Then we repeat it again. Give that a go. If you want to try it on your left foot again, so that the way to improve that would then to be go left foot, V-turn, roll, stop, V-turn, roll, stop. Right, so we're going to do a step over turn now. So I think we've again done this earlier in the week in the previous videos. So you might want to try it already. We're going to practice it on both feet though now. So it's going to be a step over turn. It's not a scissors, so a scissor goes from in to out. In to out. Alright? It's going to be the opposite way, so you're going to come from out to in. So it's almost as if you're faking to shoot and kick a football and you completely miss it. So if I want to kick the ball in this direction now, I want to stand, kick it, because if I'm going to kick it but miss it, step over it and go in the opposite direction. So I'll show you now exactly how I want it in terms of doing it both footed. So you're going to be going from one direction to the other direction. So it's going to be nice and simple. So it's going to be a step over with my right foot. My right foot still kicks it and nudges it the other way. Then it's left foot, nudge. Right foot, nudge. Left, nudge. Right, nudge. Left, nudge. Right, nudge. Okay? So every time you do it, if you step over with your right, so my right foot looks like this to kick it that way and miss it, step over it. My right foot that I've stepped with nudges it. Then I go step over with my left foot. The foot that I've stepped with nudges it opposite way. And eventually it's getting nice and fast, so it's just step, nudge, step, nudge, step, nudge, step, nudge, step, nudge. And the final skill we are going to do today is going to be a little bit of a variation and an addition to that. So really, when you do the step over that you've previously done, you've then, so if I step as if I'm faking to go that way, really I'm going to take the ball that way, aren't I, by doing my extra touch. So what you're going to do this time is almost double fool the defender. So this is going to be like a double step over, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ball completely still, step over it like previously. The defender thinks I'm going that way. Then I would go that way, but I'm not going to do. So I'm going to step over it again. So I'm going to reverse what I've just done. Defender thinks I'm going that way this time. And now I'm going to pop it that way and go the opposite way. So it's going to be, I'll show you a little bit faster. So it's going to be, I'll show you whilst talking, and then I'll show you as fast as I can do it. So it's going to be step over, fake one way, fake the other way, and off I go. I'll show you again nice and fast as I can do. So it's going to be, and then I'll obviously try and go the opposite way. So it's going to be, so I'm much more natural doing the first one than I was the second one. I'll show you again once more. Thanks all for coming on today's session. That's the end of your skills. Hope you've had a great Easter half term, and we will see you in schools.